This notice and warning applies to all observational facets, within, without, above, and below. This notice and warning is manifest through an observational facet with the lawful authority to do so. This notice and warning is directed to the one who calls himself David Rockefeller Sr. and all of his kind, that will be indicated by the pronoun you or the possessive yours for the purposes of this notice and warning. I, or me, will refer to the being that resides in this body, that exists among the indigenous beings of Earth, who have long chosen a path of confusion, known by man as the meek. That confusion is at an end, and that truth has escaped your attention. You were permitted, under natural law license, to deal with the confused, insane, and incompetent as you saw fit. You have overstepped your lawful authority by applying the license to those who were competent. This places you in resistance to natural or divine law as you would have it. It did not occur one time, but rather enough times to initiate a revocation of the license, by that with the authority to do so. As a consequence of your error, you have blinded yourself to the truth. You are no longer permitted the veil of deception. Your crimes are now in full view, and fewer among the meek are fooled. Also, you will notice an endless number of obstacles thrown in your path, and outrage expressed openly and persistently that you sustain only by even more hardened resistance. Here is what lies at the heart of your problem. There will be a new world order, but it will not be as you have deluded yourself into believing it will be. It will be an order of freedom, equity, and reason, and not of one of predation and control. These words spoken by you are a deception, and mean slavery for most, and freedom for you and your kind. Those same words spoken in truth present an obstacle of that you will not be permitted to overcome. There will be a new world order, and it will come whether you like it or not. You have a choice to make within 30 days of this notice and warning. One path will lead to your redemption, and you as necessary and important to man. The other will lead to oblivion, whereby you will expect no continuance and forever be a bad memory. Failure to choose within the grace period offered will be willing acceptance of your undoing, which will commence immediately. Your error has occurred within all realms of control, including religion, government, and finance. The error was denying remedy and recourse to fiction, making all contracts compelled to the competent, and therefore null and void to all with eyes to see. Divine right has been rescinded. The sovereign is not sovereign, and you have no expectation of holding property under contract, as you have disqualified yourself under the law. The confusion has been remedied as of 4:44 a.m., July 4th, 2006. The competent walk among us, enjoying full protection and completely unobserved. You cannot prevail in a trial by combat, and you know it. Precedent in this matter of law has already been set in absolute certainty, so you will not be permitted to resist the law beyond the grace period. We the meek thank you for the lies, the wars, the slavery, the murder, and the theft. Thank you for the disease, the poisoned food, the poisoned air, and poisoned water. Thank you for turning us against our brothers, sisters, fathers, and mothers. Thank you for violating our innocent children, depriving us of all resources, and depriving us of our inheritance. Thank you for keeping the law hidden from us. We want to thank you for the wonderful lesson you have taught us in how not to be. We know it was not easy for you, but we truly appreciate your sacrifice. You have but one sacrifice left to make. You will declare to the entire world which path you choose, either through public notice or allowing the grace period to lapse without compliance. As you read This notice and warning is circling the planet. If you choose to resist, then consequences, in law, will become manifest by the one from which all law flows. The meek will regain their competence by the thousands, then millions, and then billions. But instead of having mercy and forgiveness in their hearts, there will be only hardened offense and outrage. They will know the law you have kept from them, and be empowered to act under the law. You will no longer be able to see who among you have been turned. Your armies and mercenaries will be turned with a single word: freedom. It is not freedom spoken by you in deception, but freedom spoken in truth. The power of truth will slice one to their heart, and they will be new men and women of responsibility. They will walk in truth. You cannot stop it, and you know it. Or you are ignorant, confused, and deserve likewise treatment that you would have for the meek. Delay will cause incremental impediment to the capacity to forgive, as all continued violations of the nature of that which was permitted, that is no longer permitted, will count against you as it tests the capacity of the meek, both in hardening the meek against forgiveness and mercy, and the terms by which it will be granted. A very wise man once said to me, "Son, you are only one man. What can one man do? You must do what you are told." I thought about it, and concluded that a man can only do as he is made to do, and that it is his responsibility to determine what has the authority to do the telling. The Holy Grail has been hidden from the confused. The confused are no longer confused. The Holy Grail has been returned to its rightful owners, and it is not you. All are cautioned that a removal of this notice and warning, modification, and interception for the purposes of concealment is done in resistance to natural law. Distribute freely. You have been and are considered duly notified and warned under law.